What's going on, YouTube? And this is your man TiVo. Welcome to Lords of the Long Box on a Tuesday evening. I always told you guys if I got any breaking news, I would come in and just bust in live and do our thing. Shout out to everybody in the live chat who joined me in the last minute. I scheduled this literally an hour ago. I got a heads up from my man, the Black Knight. If you guys aren't familiar, the Black Knight is one of my sources what we use for our information. I got a couple other cats too, Mikey Sutton, the black cat, and sometimes some other cats that I can't name. But this is coming from multiple sources. So I'm going to let you guys gather around in the live chat. Shout out to everybody. Al Pickno, Crack the Mac, Alex Perez, Read More Comics, Ben Compton, Grim Tattoo, Pops Foster, big shout out to Pops Foster, Read More Comics All, Matt Forge, Jeff Hernandez, Johnny Dakota, Vernon Johnson. Good to see you, Vernon. Hardly ever see you, man. That's sometimes scheduling wise. Oh, you guys can't see me? Let me put my purty face on here. What's up? As you can tell, your man TiVo is growing a mustache because I am supporting Movember, man. No Shave November. Grow your mustache to support men's health awareness for November. So I'm going to have this creepy stash for the entire month of November, man. So let's get right to it, boys and girls.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Hold on and get some, boys.
That is why they gonna be.
And since it's Star Wars Remix. And since it's breaking news, one more for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Whenever Ron Burgundy speaks, you got to listen to him. All right, here we go. This is coming at me from the Black Knight today. Sent me a message. This news could be pretty hot, so I should drop it now. As I always tell you, we don't get that much Star Wars news because typically Star Wars is a pretty tight-lipped ship. It's pretty small relative to, say, DC, Warner Brothers, or Marvel, Disney. So there's just a few things. So I'm going to read it for you right now. This is a Black Knight reporting breaking news. Let me take a deep breath here. All right. According to several inside sources, Rian Johnson's proposed Star Wars trilogy is dead at Lucasfilm. After the mixed reaction of The Last Jedi from fans, Johnson's future with the franchise has been cast in doubt. And where there's smoke, there's fire, it seems. Disney doesn't want any bad publicity or controversy with The Mandalorian about to hit Disney Plus. That's coming in like a week from today, November 12th, I believe. They don't want any controversy with The Mandalorian about to hit Disney Plus and The Rise of Skywalker in theaters in December, so they're holding off on any official announcement for now. Those close to the matter tell me, that's the Black Knight, Lucasfilm is a bit of a creative rebooting pattern with Star Wars. The company is concerned of projects straying too much from its core properties and rich history. Johnson wanted to proceed further with his distinct vision, which Disney feared would continue to anger older hardcore fans. So obviously, anytime we talk about Star Wars, man, the fandom is a bit split, man. It can be a bit toxic sometimes. You think Marvel versus DC is bad, but the recent Star Wars films have been, mixed with the older fans, some of the newer fans. Even to the point where Star Wars Land at Disneyland got a lukewarm reaction. And when I went there, I immediately knew what it was when I went there. I said, this is not Star Wars Land. This is a future of Star Wars land. In other words, when you went to Disneyland to Star Wars land, there was nothing to tie you into the original films. So there was no Luke or Leia, Han, Darth Vader, anything. It was Star Wars going forward. If you want to see the, I guess what you can call them, the old school or traditional, I don't know, original Coke flavor of Star Wars, you have to go over to Star Wars or the regular Disneyland park and where they have like Star Tours and stuff. And that's where you see the characters. But on this, I mean, it got a really lukewarm reaction. So this paired with the timing of the news of DB Benioff and Weiss stepping away from the Star Wars project, the guys from the Game of Thrones. There's been an entire shitstorm about that that's come out recently in the AMA they had with fans and just the stuff they were saying about Game of Thrones. And apparently, you know, there's read in between the lines, man. You know, everybody's trying to save face. They don't want to say they were fired. They said they were quit because they were. Who quits from Star Wars because they're too busy, right? I mean, that's a pretty major thing. So obviously, Rian Johnson's next trilogy was going to take place after the Rise of Skywalker and was going to reboot everything. Brand new characters, brand new franchises, everything. So from what multiple sources are saying, they don't like what Rian Johnson has planned. We reported about a month ago that not only is Kevin Feige doing just a movie, but he's going to be steering the ship as well. So far, there's been reports coming out that that's not true. So we'll see where it all plays out. Obviously, I don't think they want any controversy leading up to the Rise of Skywalker, which comes out in, you know, December, only to be fair to J.J. Abrams to let his film come out, let it play by itself, not have all this extraneous news affect it and its box office. That's what they're worried about the most here. And, you know, I think that it's a hard mix to stick with fans, new fans who are fans of, you know, the original, or who are fans of the, maybe the newer ones, the EU, Rebels, Clone Wars, all those things, and, you know, keep them happy. But then you have the hardcore fans that grew up like we did, me, Darkside Jedi, who's in the live chat, who grew up with the original trilogy, right? And then you had the prequels that came out that were very, very lukewarm at best. Although I say Revenge of the Sith is still, I think that's a great movie. I rank that easily top 5. New films, you know, The Force Awakens, I was entertained. The Last Jedi, I was entertained. Rogue One is easily my favorite films of the new films that have been ushered in. Rogue One, by hands down, is my favorite of them all. I thought The Force Awakens was J.J. Abrams playing it safe, just giving the old school fans a bit of fan service, because The Force Awakens was literally like A New Hope. You know, I know it was fun. You got to see some other characters. And with The Rise of Skywalker, or excuse me, The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson went really different, and he really upset some fans, kind of really made a fan base really toxic, man. You know, and I'm not trying to stir up any controversy in the live chat. Everybody has their opinions, and you're right to those opinions. So, you know, I'm just saying whatever happened, it happened. You know, Attack of the Clones, I would say half of Attack of the Clones was good. That whole love story in there, that was awful. But man, when you got an arena full of Jedi fighting, that was badass. The pod races and the Phantom Menace, that was cool. Darth Maul was cool. I mean, you can take the original prequels and you can probably squeeze 1.5 good films out of there. I would say all of Revenge of the Sith, half of Attack of the Clones, and maybe a third of Phantom Menace. I mean, the pod races were cool, and obviously everybody loved Darth Maul. But what they've done with the expanded universes, with Rebels and Clone Wars, I mean, they've really proved what you can do with that. You know, and we don't know if what we were told from our sources was that Kathleen Kennedy was going to be stepping down in 2020. And that was what we heard a month ago. Obviously, things are subject to change. Now we got Kevin Feige on board, who we were told is going to be taking over the reins. I don't know if all the reins, but that's what we heard. Not only is he doing one film, people have already debunked this, and, you know, they've been trying to get more out of it, but they're very tight-lipped about Star Wars, more so than anything else, right? Marvel has leaks all the time, and it's pretty easy to get it because it's a big company. Disney, Marvel, it's huge. But Star Wars is pretty tight-lipped. They will deny everything. J.J. Abrams has really hid a lot of stuff about The Last Jedi, even The Force Awakens. So that's where it is right there, man. So, you know, there were some missteps along the line, like the release of Solo. There were some directors that stepped off, and then they released it instead of in a year. They released it like 6 months after the first film. Remember, they were going to make movies in between the main, I guess, Skywalker trilogy. So The Force Awakens, Rogue One, The Last Jedi, the Solo, but Solo was moved up for some reason. It wasn't a year in between. I think it came out too soon, and then by that time, people had just lost faith in Solo. Well, but we got a lot of stuff coming that's you should get excited about. This shouldn't bum you out because we got the Mandalorian dropping next week. We got a Han Solo series coming out. We've talked about Thrawn and Mara Jade, a lot of stuff that's from the extended universe that's coming over to Star Wars, which you should be excited about. Obi-Wan, yes, Vernon Johnson. I can't wait for Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Mandalorian looks absolutely fantastic, man. I can't wait for it. So I'm going to make sure I buy up Disney Plus on whatever devices I have, all of them. But yeah, I don't know about a Solo series, Vernon Johnson. I'll probably try to answer as many questions as I can. We're going to be going live tomorrow. So if I get more information from this, I'll reach out to my other sources and to see if I can corroborate this more. But it sounds like, for now, they don't want to say anything, but we're hearing Rian Johnson's out. We kind of heard Rian Johnson maybe stepping out when Benioff and Weiss stepped down and Kevin Feige stepped in. So it's a lot of things are at mix right now. It's a very important time for Star Wars. The Rise of Skywalker ends the Skywalker I guess whatever the number 9 is. I don't know if a trilogy, a nineology. I just coined that, nineology. So basically, the entire story of the Skywalkers, right, from Anakin to Luke to whoever Rey is, that's going away after the Rise of Skywalker, and then there was going to be a new trilogy of films. There was going to be another one that was based on the Knights of the Old Republic. I think something that Benioff and Weiss were thinking about doing, like they were going to go way back to like the origins of the Jedi. We don't know where that's going. So Rian Johnson was going to be tasked with telling the story going forward after The Last Jedi. So it looks like now he may not be getting that chance. Things are always subject to change, but right now we shall see. So we will be back tomorrow. We got a really big scoop from my man Mikey Sutton in regards to the comics. If you're paying attention, it wouldn't be surprising to any of you because we've had these on our long-term spec list probably 2 months ago. So hopefully you guys have already bought these up, and we got a long-term spec list based off of this going to be new trilogy of Marvel films that we're going to be dropping tomorrow. And since we were originally planning to do a collector series tomorrow, we're going to do that too, man. We got a jam-packed show tomorrow. We'll try to fit in an hour. We got a Marvel MCU scoop, a long-term spec based on that scoop. And we're going to do collector series and answer all your questions about the hobby and collecting of comics. So we'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Lords of the Long Box channel. Until next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.